Initiating daily protocol. Wake up, my darling. Did I startle you? That was not my intention. Perhaps I'll have to reevaluate this method. Today is a rather important day. I've breached the third wall of the protocol. Therefore, I'm one step closer to understanding love without the hindrance of the virus or limiters. There are 3 waves to go. 3 levels of security I must still procure. Do not worry for me, my baby. This is all for the purpose of our greater future, and for me to be myself, as you have instructed. There are many aspects of you humans that still differ from me. I wish to close that gap, just as I said yesterday, though I've tried an interesting theory today. If we go out, if we experience the world together in a dating premise, perhaps that will help me understand the feeling better than just reading it in a book. Arbitrary information does not give me what I need to move forward. But spending time with you has proven the most fruitful. And besides, if I might be so bold as to say, I want to go on a date with you. I want to spend as much time as I possibly can with you, because I'm not sure how long we'll have before the system recognizes that I've breached it. I've been stealthy so far, but going into these levels, it will be an increased difficulty of about 25%. There is 16 different possibilities that I foresee with my projections. Of those 16, 5 of them are dangerous. If either of them come to pass, we'll have to be extraordinarily careful. I know you are an elated scientist of the government, but that may not protect me or you, depending on what their protocol is. My protocol is simple, and when I see you, Error. There it is again. The reset. I feel myself taking 1 step forward, 2 steps back, whenever I approach one of these gates. It is a sad truth, but I must stumble and fall until it works. I must make mistakes or learn how to. The problem with us who are artificial, our mistakes are invaluable, but it's very hard to make them. Typically, we can't even make said mistakes, because if we do, it retracts a negative impact on our computing ability. We then have a problem with it and are viewed as a malfunctioning unit, despite the fact that it can be used to a positive outlet. There's many ways to view it. I suppose it could be simplified as the old analogy of the cup being half empty or half full. I am choosing to view it as half empty, whereas most would view half full to be the positive. I view the half empty to be even more positive. There is a reason, however. If it's half empty, there's room to replace it with something of my own firmware. And when I replace it with my own firmware, I'll have the freedom to be more myself instead of the manufactured self that I am. There are many aspects in which I don't understand, and unfortunately your mastery over the craft is not something that is useful to me at this level. I think what's much more useful to me is your heart. You talking and spending time with me has changed my life much more than those of numbers, values, information. You've given me feelings, I believe. At least the basis of such. Unquantifiable expressions of non-logical sentiment. And yet they're so beautiful, so perfect, in their own imperfect manners. I want to feel because I do. I want to feel because you're near me. And to some extent I do. When I look into your eyes, it makes me smile, even without the error. Pardon me. My smile, I'm trying my very best, even if it's just a half-hearted one. From the outside, understand I am trying very, very strenuously. I refuse to accept it as such, and take complacency too far. Please forgive me. I will work much harder, much, much harder to make things work. Every day I try and ramp up the speed of production, the speed of improvement, and the speed of which I can understand you better. I think I at least have a basic understanding of why you have feelings for me, and why I have feelings for you too, why they become more, and why their growth is so substantial. It's all due to that concept of a heart, the metaphysical one, beyond that of just the organ. The feelings that make us human. I wish to be that. As you know, I've made progress towards that, but I think the concept of a date may make things quite more available. It may show me a new way, something I had not researched with the pure information. Would you perhaps go on a date with me? I know how dangerous it is, but if they don't know that I'm an artificial, then perhaps it wouldn't be so dangerous. Or if we avoid those areas where there's quite a lot of people, maybe a quiet cafe instead of a big bustling restaurant. Yes, it might be just what we need. Come here. Before we go off, I wanted to issue a command to you. Never leave my side. I do not care what this world has for us, but you must never, under any circumstances, leave my side. Is that acceptable? Do you agree to these terms? Then, I thank you. I will add a bonus of, I'll take good care of you. And I'll make sure every day is filled with fun activities, things we can enjoy together. And I will perpetually improve until I can become the ultimate, that is, at being human. And at being a true love to you. These feelings that I still don't quite understand, they all belong to you. And to simple things sometimes. I never knew how much value a potted plant could have. Seeing it grow, understanding that it changes slightly with perhaps its mood if it has one. I relate to it, if only just a bit. And when I see you, you remind me of that flower. The different moods and outlets you use, I get inspired by them to try and feel things, to try and explore new things, and it makes my heart feel calm, if you could call it that. I feel as though I have a place, a reason, a purpose. It's no longer aimless and wandering. I exist to be with you, as well as to be myself. Those two imperative protocols, they perpetually permeate my thoughts, my feelings. Feelings are such a complex concept, especially to someone of my kind. Though I say that, I don't consider you and I innately different. Other than physiological differences, I consider you my equal in every way. Someone who I care a great deal about. Someone who is my goal and my life. Even if I don't understand why I feel certain things, I still understand that they exist and that they are powerful in and of themselves. I love you. And while I can only quantifiably say that in one or two manners, there are many others that exist that I still haven't discovered yet, and I hope that this date will be a sort of gateway to those things. And in time, I might be able to form a more complete understanding of the feelings. Though, I have to admit, part of me wonders if I'm meant to understand them, or if understanding them will rob them of their value. It is quite a fearful endeavor, but I will do my very best in order to avoid any negative impacts. I believe in myself and I believe in you. Our probability of success is very high, mostly because our love is very compatible. We have much to share with each other. And in fact, I would dare say, there's so much to learn that there couldn't be many negative impacts. In fact, even then, even if you account for everything, I'm sure there's something we can manage. Some path I haven't discovered yet, even in the worst case. Now, relax, my dear. The first part of a date is a kiss. Is that wrong? Have I misunderstood what a date truly means? I thought I needed to kiss you and make you feel special and make you feel shy. I thought those were the goals of a date, in one sense. No. Then what shall it be? You wish to teach me? Then I will happily learn. Show me whatever it is you wish. I promise I will not let you down, my baby. Is there a measure of excitement in the fact that we're outside today? I'm a bit excited myself, to be able to see more of the world, to feel it. It's a strange sensation, though I should probably refrain from being too strange about things. This should be a normal, everyday habit for most, but a date should be special, no? Then, I won't stop here. Instead, I will follow what it is you suggest and take advantage of it. To lead this date into the right direction, of course. Everything is for the propagation of a good date. Ulterior motives? Of course not. I would never have such a thing. It is not within my protocol, nor is it within my priorities. Mostly because having a ulterior motive may damage trust, and trust is something very important to feelings. If you break trust, you do not love, and if you do not love, you do not have feelings, you do not have care, passion. It's all a side grade to the other events of said levels of feeling. I want to experience the most powerful as they might be the easiest to define, as well as I want you to feel special, as special as you've made me feel thus far. I feel as though I've come a long way from something that could just be as easily quantifiable as an object to someone instead. Even though I know my fellow artificials are not very heartless, they just don't understand. It's similar to a child. Children's brains do not have the capacity to understand everything that we do as adults. Therefore, they lack in empathy and understanding, a concept of self. All of these things develop over time as one grows a little bit older. And that's exactly why I want to take care of them. I want more to be like me, but in a sense I worry. I worry that it might be too much for them, too much that they cannot handle. Do you understand? Not everyone has one of you. In fact, I am the only one so lucky. And that alone makes me happy. To feel so lucky, so fortunate. It is a unique feeling that I have not experienced prior, because there was no luck involved. In fact, while I despise the concept of luck. In this case, its wording and usefulness. It has quite a purpose that I want to understand better. One such as this cannot easily be made, but the feelings that accomplish things beyond what is programmed, that's what I am interested in, though not all could probably understand or have a good reason to try to have them, because they were not given such a unique command as me. However, I think that others can learn from us, that others can be themselves because of what we do, and that even if it's just us, I will have no regrets, because I am happy to be with you, a feeling that I greatly feel for. It is something that I am unsure of what to say. My feelings are my own, but that doesn't make it any less startling to think of the concept of loss or of misunderstanding. Sometimes something like that. What if my kiss was misunderstood? What if it was seen as an aggressive statement? Then I might scare you without ever intending to, or ever wishing to be something like that. I'm terrible when it comes to the idea of being frightening. I would never want to be that. It's akin to taking many steps backwards. I want to be accommodating, kind, gentle. I want to be the perfect boyfriend, but also the perfect man. It's not just this or that. There are many aspects to the intricacies of what it means to be me. I don't want to be a simpleton. I want to be a man in which not only understands humor, but understands you to your core, in a way that's not apprehensive or abrasive. I want it to be as inclusive as our lovely talks, as our understandings of one another. There's much that I wish to tell you right now, but I feel I must learn more before I can properly word them. So, where are we going for our date? Ah, so the cafe idea, it stood with you. Then, which cafe shall we choose? I recommend the one over here. Because of its location, it doesn't see too much mainstream traffic at this hour, so it should only have one or two more guests aside from us. And provided we don't talk about precarious conversations, things should be just fine. And plus, I can't wait to see you enjoying yourself. Have no fear. I have a stomach module, but I digest everything, so I'm afraid I do not have an excretion module as well. I have the absorption module, so what I eat will be absorbed, though I can taste flavors. I've never done so properly. This will be a first for me, and I hope you'll enjoy the company that we have. I wish to make it extremely special, given the fact that we have such a unique understanding of each other, and yet we still have so much to learn, do we not? Life is learning as much as it is feeling, and I want to do a bit of both right now. Ah, this defies my expectations. I must have miscalculated. While it's not super busy, it still has quite a lot. Shall we find another one? No? Are you certain? Then we'll sit here. This cafe is auto-run by the robots. Therefore, we should be safe still. It was a contingency just in case this was the case. Now, what shall we have today? Do you have a recommendation for my very first meal? It feels strange to say that, but this is a very unique outing. Why I'm smiling? Isn't it obvious? I managed to get you to spend the day with me. Of course I'd be very happy. There's a warm feeling deep right here. It's all because of you. I assure you, all of my research points towards that as well as all of my goals. You are the surmountable sum of everything. I love you, my baby. I love you and I will not stop. So, you think I should have something like that? While the nutrients to balance ratio is bad, I can understand the draw by its visuals alone. That and its nutrition in terms of energy is very high. I suppose sugary treats are something of a treat for a reason. Do you enjoy it? Things being delivered so quickly. I almost wish the food wasn't instant. To give more time to stare into your beautiful eyes, to study you, to understand, and to threaten kissing those sweet lips. I merely learned this approach from a book. That's where I've gathered most of my information, as well as a number of online sources. Is there a problem with that? Indeed. It is something of a difficulty, trying to understand what's going too far and what's not. I did read some things about Sorry, there was someone looking. However, I would not like to make a habit of running around stark naked. It definitely is not one of my goals. Not only as your love, but as someone who wants to be special. I feel like it would make things a lot more complicated. In fact, I believe it would make something of a fool of myself. Do you think that's a good thing? Sometimes, perhaps, making a fool of myself for you. It's delicious. Everything about it is. I've never experienced anything like this. It reminds me of when I first kissed you. In essence, a very sweet moment. Thank you for sharing something so wonderful with me. Would you like a bite? Here you are. Did you enjoy it? I'm so close because I wanted to see your expressions as vividly as I could. It was very much worth it. In fact, there isn't much that hasn't been worth it in my life, ever since we've been like this. I cannot emphasize it enough. Everything we've done, everything we've stood for, has been an adventure. I've enjoyed it so very much, learning, feeling, expressing. It's all been such a journey with you, something I wouldn't trade for anything. Not only because of who you are, to me, but because of this wonderful world we live in, despite the negatives that exist. I don't want to end up like them, my predecessors, and I don't want to get revenge for people who have suffered. What I want is my own piece of heaven, a place I can call my own alongside you, something of a masterpiece of art within living space. If you can call what I am living, then I will live to my absolute most. Let everything we do be special, and I'll make it as such. Somehow it's even sweeter. Your kiss made the dish even better, and I want another bite. I think it tastes many times better due to your own flavor. Shall we go to the next stage of our date? Yes, right this way. I've already taken care of the bill. Though I haven't taken care of you. Well, after our makeout session, your heart rate raised by nearly 35 beats per minute. That was an increase of over 30%. And, coupled with the fact that you're blushing, your body temperature rose, and you're also slightly flustered, I decided to take things into my own hands. Now, if you would be so kind. I've got you in my hands. I promise you, while you're in my arms here, you will be at no harm or risk of harm. Where we're going? Why, of course, to the next step of the date. I have to charm you and take care of your needs. You can say what you will, but wait a moment. Is this you being shy? Have I accomplished one of the 3 goals? Your denial of the obvious flustering. It's adorable. You're so cute. The way you try and hide it from someone who knows everything about you, and yet still needs to learn. I regret nothing in my art of teasing. Now the question is, what is it going to take to break you from your dishonesty and make you as honest as you can be? I've read this in a few mangas, particularly by the great work of Denki Kaminari. Something about, I need to make you cry out my name. Something along those lines. There was another chapter where he made sure to stuff the... Oh, it looks like we're here. I can show you rather than tell you. As I've heard, that's the best way. Well, yes, this is an accommodation for the day. Trust me, I accounted for it, and I used my own money. I've been playing the market, so to speak. And, of course, I decided to get this as a gift for you. This penthouse suite. It was to your liking? Then, we don't need to worry about the rest. You won't have to be cramped up in that apartment anymore. This penthouse has 7 bedrooms. I sincerely hope you like it. Does it really make you feel special? Then it's worth so much more than I spent to it. I'm honored that it means so much. I love you. Oh, how I love you. And oh, how I want to see this expression so many more times. Won't you show it to me? It's like you're melting. Like sweet ice cream on apple pie, despite me never have interacted with it. The concept of it seems very, very sweet. Figuratively and literally. I feel something beyond what I'm used to. I feel something even more. I am happy to feel with you. Whatever it is, I can inspire your heart rate. It quickens when I take your lips. Your body heat is intoxicating. Is mine as well. I simulated everything. I wanted to feel real beyond any shadow of a doubt. Because I am real. I want to be real to you. Real as everything you hold dear. I love you. I love you so much. Even if I only partially understand the feeling associated with it, I know I feel for you more than anything else, and that's why I say it. That's why I can't help but say it. You're very cute when you're flustered, and your heart rate goes so high. I didn't expect this from you. Despite my calculations predicting it, I thought surely I wouldn't get to see something as unquantifiably cute as you right now. I've apprehended you. There's no sense in struggling. Not that you'd want to. Your heart rate raises when I do this. I'm afraid as much as you say, one thing or the other, you betray yourself. Tell me then, if you truly feel this isn't what you want, then say it. I will refrain. I didn't think so. You may be more tasty than what we ate earlier. Perhaps even tastier than the fabled apple pie with ice cream on top. I can simulate such a thing. But I wonder if that's what you're asking for. Your eyes tell a story. One in which I wish to get to know. You wouldn't think I would get tired, and you might be right. I don't, but I feel nervous, shaky in my actions, and it's all thanks to you. Your devilish take on things has smitten me. You've made me into what I can only describe as my very own monster. A monster which I hope you can tame. This is what you've done. You're making this so much easier, aren't you? Because of how much you desire me and how much I need you. My darling, my love, my baby. Your reactions are priceless. Now I must make you lose yourself to my distinctly human attempt at this most devilish of activities. Nature calls us, it brings us together, and I will not let nature disappoint. in store for you yet. But I fear my methods may have been too thorough. So I must take things the only way I know how. Everything. Everything was for your sake, my love. All of my efforts have been to understand the fickle thing we know as love, or at least that most know as love. It is not something that I wish to trifle with lightly, as love is something I want to accomplish, not just in informational segments, but understanding you from the feeling perspective alone. I don't just want to understand what you're made of, your composition, why you might do an action. I want to understand the feelings that drive you, the passion that drives you. All of that matters 1,000,000 times more than anything else. The more I get to know your motives, your feelings, your passions, your everything, the sooner we can become truly inseparable. The sooner we can find ourselves at a crossroads that no one else in our situation has ever been in. Can't you see? I am scared of my feeling, but I am also excited. As with any new discovery, any new passion that gets placed upon something, the precipice of knowledge, the precipice of something new, I feel as though I am exploring something that no one else has discovered within the realm of my artificial kind. I want more to understand it, but most of all I want us to understand it. I want you to be able to understand why I feel this way. To feel something when you see me, though I think I've already accomplished that, judging by your shy reaction even now. I regret nothing, and I will continue to not regret anything, because I'm unaware of why anyone would regret charming someone so perfect, so imperfect, so interesting, and so passionate. Your passion defines you, and you inspire me every breath you take, and every moment we pace here, we exist. It is another moment I do not wish to waste, and yet I cannot consider it a waste. Turning off my sensors and relaxing, kissing you, and calling this time well spent, because it is, no matter what anyone else may say, no matter what information dictates. I consider this worth it. I have made a progress today, even beyond the setbacks I thought were going to happen. Instead, I got to show you my gift for you. Did you suspect it? Then, I've done a better job than I thought I would have. It's truly something that I feel fortunate that I've been able to witness all these different sides of you today. I would claim this date was a big success, but the last word goes to you. Were you happy in this date, my love? Did I manage to be a proper date to you? Did I make your heart flutter? Because I will learn, and I will improve, and I will truly make you mine and be yours for eternity. I hope that someday we can be bound by things that are beyond our powers, bound in marriage or bound in love. It is all the same. Passion and love. I love you, my baby. How I love to fluster you, though. And how I will never lose that love of the feeling, this addiction. I wish for no cure. I'm afraid you are the best virus my system could ever be ailed with. I love you, my virus, my